Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to this month's webinar. My name is Dawn Cuck, and I'm a health coach with Orthus Health. I'm pleased to offer this presentation for you this month. Our topic is Sleep Your Way to Better Health. Think of everything that you do during your day. Sleep is so important that you should devote 1/3 of your time doing it. So many things need our attention during the day, causing stress sometimes. A National Sleep Foundation poll found that 74% of American adults are experiencing a number of different sleep problems, including inadequate hours of sleep, restless nights of sleep. Factor in other unexpected challenges such as financial worries, work concerns, relationship issues, or an illness, and quality sleep may be even harder to come by. Now, in the past century, our average sleep time has been reduced. And while society and the daily pace of living have changed, our brain and biology have not, and it has taken a toll on us. You may not be able to control or eliminate all factors that interfere with your sleep, but you may be able to benefit from some lifestyle changes. Here is what we will discuss during this presentation: why is sleep so important, a few sleep disorders, some consequences of drowsy driving, and strategies for better sleep. Does it really matter if you get enough sleep? Well, absolutely it does. Not only does the quality of your sleep matter, but the quantity. Not only does the quantity of your sleep matter, but the quality of your sleep is important as well. People whose sleep is interrupted a lot or is cut short might not get enough of certain stages of sleep. How well rested you are and how well you function the next day depend on your total sleep time and how much of the various stages of sleep that you get each night. Now, many people view sleep as merely a downtime when their brain shuts off and their body rests. And in an effort to meet other responsibilities, people cut back on their sleep. But research shows that a number of vital tasks carried out during sleep help us maintain our good health and enable people to function at their best. We need sleep to think clearly, to react quickly, and to create memories. The pathways in the brain that help us learn and remember are very active when we sleep. A lack of sleep may even cause mood problems. Growing evidence shows that a chronic lack of sleep increases the risk for developing obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and infections. So how much sleep do you need? Well, the first thing experts will tell you about sleep is that there's no magic number of hours. Different age groups need different amounts of sleep, and sleep needs are also based on the individual. Sleep needs vary from person to person, and they change also throughout the life cycle. So most adults need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Newborns sleep between 16 and 18 hours a day. Preschoolers need about 10 to 12 hours a day. School-aged children and teens at least 9 hours of sleep. Now, some people believe that adults need less sleep as they get older, but there's no evidence to show that older people can get by with less sleep than younger people. As we age, they often get less sleep or tend to spend less time in deep, restful stages of sleep. Now, older people are more easily awakened. A National Sleep Foundation poll found that the better the health of older adults, the more likely they are to sleep well. Conversely, the greater the number of diagnosed medical conditions, the more likely they are to report sleep problems. Also, among older adults, more positive moods and outlooks, as well as having more active lifestyles, are associated with improved sleep. So what happens when I sleep? Well, sleep was long considered just a uniform block of time when you're not awake. Thanks to sleep studies over the past several decades, it's now known that sleep has distinctive stages. Our bodies go through 5 stages of sleep. The first are 2 stages of getting into sleep, where we spend a large portion of our sleep time, followed by 2 stages of deeper sleep, also known as slow wave or delta sleep. After achieving deep sleep, we actually go back through the phases of lighter sleep and then begin REM sleep, so-called for the rapid eye movement that occurs during dreaming. Now, these sleep cycles repeat throughout the night and get longer as sleep continues. A person may complete up to 5 cycles in a typical night's sleep. Sleep is regulated by 2 brain processes. One is the restorative process, when sleep occurs naturally in response to how long we're awake. The second process controls the timing of sleep and the wakefulness during the day-night cycle. Timing is regulated by the circadian biological clock that's located in our brain. This part of the brain is influenced by light, so that we naturally tend to get sleepy at night when it's dark and are active during the day when it's light. This internal clock in the brain runs on a 24-hour cycle, so that we feel most sleepy around 2 to 4 a.m. and in the afternoon between 1 and 3 p.m. We need to have conscious, continuous sleep that becomes restorative and results in feeling refreshed and alert for the day ahead. Now, your brain stays active throughout sleep, but different things happen during different stages. A number of vital tasks carried out during sleep help maintain your good health and enable people to function at their best. When you're sleeping at night, important hormones are secreted, blood pressure is lowered, and kidney functions change. As mentioned earlier, memory is consolidated during sleep. When we don't get adequate sleep, we accumulate a sleep debt that can be difficult to pay back. The resulting sleep deprivation has also been linked to negative mood and behavior, decreases in productivity, safety issues in the home, on the job, and on the road. Now, here are just a few sleep disorders that we will briefly discuss. Anyone can have sleep apnea. It's estimated that at least 12 to 18 million American adults have sleep apnea, making it as common as asthma. More than 1/2 of the people who have sleep apnea are overweight. It is more common in men, about 3% of children, and 10% or more of people over age 65 have sleep apnea. This condition occurs more frequently in African Americans, Asians, Native Americans, and Hispanics than in Caucasians. Now, the word apnea is actually a Greek word that means without breath. Some common signs of sleep apnea include loud snoring and observed episodes of the breathing stopping or breathing cessation during sleep, or abrupt awakenings accompanied by shortness of breath. Now, men are twice as likely to have sleep apnea than women. However, women do have an increased risk if they're overweight, and also appears to rise after menopause. Now, there's two main types of sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea occurs when the muscles in the back of your throat relax. These muscles support your soft palate, the triangular piece of tissue hanging from the soft palate called your uvula, also tonsils, and the tongue. When the muscles relax, the airway narrows or closes, and your brain senses this inability to breathe and rouses you from sleep so that you can reopen your airway. These awakenings can occur 20 to 30 times or more each hour during the night and may impair your ability to reach the deep, restful phases of sleep. Many people with this problem believe they sleep well at night, but they actually don't. Also, fat deposits around your upper airway may obstruct your breathing. A thick neck may narrow the airway. A neck circumference greater than 17 inches is oftentimes associated with an increased risk of obstructive sleep apnea. You may be at higher risk for sleep apnea if you have a family member that has it, you have high blood pressure, you have a naturally narrow throat, or your tonsils or adenoids are enlarged, you're over 65. Sleep apnea is 2 to 3 more times often in adults over 65. And you might be at a greater risk if you use alcohol or sedatives that can relax the muscles in the throat. And also if you smoke, because smoking increases the amount of inflammation and fluid retention in the upper airway. However, when you quit smoking, your risk drops. Now, second type we're going to talk about is central sleep apnea, which occurs far less commonly, and it occurs when the brain fails to transmit signals to the breathing muscles. You may awaken with shortness of breath or even headaches. The most common cause of central sleep apnea is heart disease, but you may be at a higher risk for this type of sleep apnea if you're a male, you have congestive heart failure, have had a stroke or brain tumor, a neuromuscular disorder such as ALS, a spinal cord injury or muscular dystrophy. Also, sleeping in or at a higher altitude than you're used to can also put you at risk for sleep apnea. So overall, sleep apnea can occur if you're young or old, male or female. Again, even children can have sleep apnea. Doctors may not suspect it in children because instead of the typical signs of sleepiness during the day, children might become agitated or be considered hyperactive. And also remember that not everyone who has sleep apnea snores. It is important to talk to your doctor about any sleep problems you may be having. He or she may make an evaluation based on your signs and symptoms and refer you possibly for a sleep study. If it's suspected that you have sleep apnea, your doctor may refer you to an ENT, an ear, nose, throat doctor to rule out any blockages. An evaluation by a heart doctor or neurologist might be necessary. Sleep apnea is considered a serious medical condition, and complications can include general fatigue from waking up several times a night, cardiovascular problems. The repeated awakenings of sleep apnea make normal restorative sleep impossible. Loud snoring can keep those around you from getting good rest and eventually also disrupt your relationships. Now, insomnia, there's several factors that can define insomnia. So difficulty falling asleep, waking up too frequently during the night, waking up too early in the morning, or just having unrefreshing sleep. There's many causes. They might include stress, environmental noise, extreme temperatures, change in your surrounding environment, changes in your schedule, like jet lag. Some medications can have side effects that will keep you awake. Advanced age. Insomnia is more frequent in those over the age of 60. Also, being a female or having a history of depression. Chronic insomnia, however, often results from a number of factors in combination, including underlying physical or mental disorders. For example, one of the most common causes of insomnia is depression and/or anxiety. Medical conditions such as arthritis, asthma, hyperthyroidism can also contribute, as well as lifestyle behaviors such as misuse of caffeine, shift work, smoking before bedtime, maybe napping too much during the day, even chronic stress. And also, if we start to anticipate problems with sleep, we're likely to have problems with sleep due to worrying about it. It's a vicious circle. Insomnia is not defined by the number of hours of sleep or how long it takes to fall asleep, as individuals vary in their needs for and their satisfaction with sleep. Insomnia can be classified as transient, intermittent, or chronic. From a single night to a few weeks is transient. If episodes occur from time to time, the insomnia is intermittent. Insomnia is considered to be chronic if it occurs on most nights and lasts a month or more. And it may also be defined as having symptoms 3 nights per week or more than 1 month. Another condition is RLS, or restless leg syndrome. This causes a powerful urge to move your legs. Your legs become uncomfortable when you're lying down or sitting. Some people describe it as like a creeping, crawling, tingling, or burning sensation. Moving your legs actually feels better, but not for long. RLS can make it hard to fall asleep and stay asleep. In most cases, there's no known cause, but in other cases can be caused by a disease or condition, such as anemia or pregnancy. Some medications can cause temporary RLS, stimulants like caffeine and tobacco, and also Alcohol can make your symptoms worse. Lifestyle changes such as regular sleep habits, relaxation techniques, and moderate exercise during the day can help. But if those don't work, medicines might reduce your symptoms. Most people with RLS also have a condition called periodic limb movement disorder, or PLMD, which is a condition in which a person's leg twitches or jerks uncontrollably, usually during sleep. And that can affect either your arms or your legs. Now, being sleep deprived and driving. We can have a short change of sleep on a regular basis that actually start falling asleep during the day, even without knowing it. This is called microsleep. If the body's not getting enough sleep, it shuts down for a few seconds at a time with or without our awareness. Unfortunately, many people don't realize that it's a symptom of lack of sleep. Drowsy driving is a term used to describe people who are driving a car but are suffering from lack of sleep. The problem with drowsy drivers is that they experience the microsleeps while driving cars, with consequences similar to those of drunk drivers. Consider this: an estimated 1.35 million drivers have been involved in a drowsy driving related crash in the past 5 years. About 7 in 10 of these drivers, or 972,000, were males, while about 380,000 were females. Young drivers make a disproportionately high number of drowsy driving related crashes, with about 274,000 drivers under the age of 21 being involved in a crash within the past 5 years. So if you or your teenager are sleep deprived, motivation alone will not keep you awake. Now, researchers also continue to find links between sleep and weight. In a study that followed more than 68,000 American women for 13 years, researchers found that those who got adequate rest each night tended to put on less weight during middle-aged. The study concluded that women who got only 5 hours of sleep per night were 1/3 more likely to have substantial weight gain defined as 30 pounds or more over the course of the study period than those who got 7 hours of sleep. The findings add to a growing body of evidence that sleep habits can affect a person's weight. One possible reason is that sleep deprivation alters hormones involved in appetite control and metabolism. Because the women who slept less also ate less, extra calorie consumption could not be blamed for the weight gain. And even though the less rested women might exercise somewhat less regularly due to fatigue, the differences between the women's levels of physical activity did not appear to be a factor. So you should never try to self-diagnose your sleep disorders or try to use over-the-counter treatments. Check with your doctor before taking any kind of sleep medications. He or she will make sure that the pills won't interact with any other medications or with any existing medical condition you may have. Your doctor can also help you determine the best dosage. If you do take a sleep medication, reduce the dosage gradually when you want to quit taking it, and never, ever, ever mix alcohol and sleeping pills. If you feel sleepy or dizzy during the day, talk to your doctor about changing the dosage or discontinuing the pills. There are some lifestyle changes you can make which may help you sleep a little better. If you're having problems achieving proper sleep, talk to your doctor, especially if lifestyle and dietary adjustments have not worked in the last week or two. There's some simple first steps that you can take to ensure that you get good, restful sleep. You may improve the quality of your sleep and therefore your health by making a few simple adjustments to diet, habits, routine, and even bedroom furnishings. So go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day, even weekends. Sleeping in on weekends can throw off your rhythm. Napping late in the afternoon or long naps in the early afternoon can interfere with nighttime sleep as well. If you must nap, do it in the early part of the day and no longer than 30 minutes. Now, napping is usually not recommended unless you're sleep deprived. A regular bedtime routine to unwind, such as soaking in a warm bath, reading, listening to soothing music, it sets a response in the mind and body. So no heavy metal music, action-filled TV, or emotional, lively conversations. Also, usually a cooler room tends to be better than a room that's too warm. If you sleep with a partner whose comfort level is different, you can compromise and dress accordingly. If your bedding is more than 7 or 8 years old, it may be time for a new mattress. And also, most synthetic pillows are meant to last only about a year or two. Take work materials, computers, televisions out of the sleeping environment. Reading in bed is okay, but avoid crossword puzzles or games. Blackout curtains, eye covers, earplugs, a fan or humidifier all may create an environment that is conducive to sleep. Children and pets may be disruptive, so you may need to set limits on how often they sleep in the bed with you. Go to bed when you're tired and turn out the lights. If you don't fall asleep within 30 minutes, get up and do something else that's not too stimulating, such as reading or I don't recommend watching television, but try reading, and then go back to bed when you feel tired again. Agonizing over trying to fall asleep will only cause more stress and make the situation worse. Try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before your regular bedtime, because your body, if it's focused on digestion, is not focused on sleep. Eat a healthy, balanced diet with minimum of refined sugars, which are stimulating. If you're prone to heartburn, avoid spicy or fatty foods that can flare up your heartburn. A light snack is okay if that makes you feel more comfortable, but also limit your fluids before bed to minimize waking up to have to go to the bathroom. Regular exercise is especially helpful. Aerobic exercise is best, but also try to complete your workout 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Besides other detrimental health effects, tobacco products can lead to poor quality of sleep because it's a stimulant. It can raise your heart rate and your blood pressure. Smokers may experience withdrawal symptoms at night or wake up too early in the morning because of nicotine withdrawal. Also, avoid caffeine in coffee, tea, soft drinks, chocolate close to bedtime, and because stimulants can keep you awake or make it hard to go back to sleep. Alcohol also interferes with your REM sleep and can cause you to awaken more often and sometimes even trigger bad dreams. Daylight is key to regulating daily sleep patterns, so try to get outside in natural sunlight for about 30 minutes a day. Here's some additional resources to check out, and also, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your health coach. Thank you for joining for this month's webinar. Have a great day.